What's up everyone, Patrick here, welcome back, and moving on to the next example, a little bit more practice dealing with absolute values. So we got to evaluate each of these expressions. So starting with number 1, we got negative 84 over negative 3 times the absolute value of 6 minus 10. So what would happen here, we have to deal with the absolute value first. So we'd have negative 3. Now what's 6 minus 10? That is negative 4. So we'd have the absolute value of negative 4. What's the absolute value of negative 4? It's just positive 4. So then we'd end up with negative 3 times positive 4. So we'd have negative 84. Then we can multiply these two. That would be negative 12. Negative 84 divided by negative 12 would give us positive 7. So that's the answer to number 1. Number 2, we got negative 6 minus the absolute value of 7 minus 11. So here, again, we would figure this out first. 7 minus 11 is negative 4 again, so we'd have the absolute value of negative 4. And we'd have negative 6 minus the absolute value of negative 4 is positive 4. And then we got negative 6 minus 4, which gives us negative 10. So that's the answer to number 2. Over here, we have 10 minus the absolute value of negative 6 all over negative 2 times negative 2. So this would be 10 minus absolute value of negative 6 is positive 6. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. This would be 4 over 4, which would give us 1. That's the answer to number 3. Then number 4, we got negative 24 over 4 minus 5 minus the absolute value of negative 9 all over negative 2. So first thing, notice these are sort of like two separate expressions that we can work with. So negative 24 over 4, that gives us negative 6. We'll put a bracket there just so you could relate it. And then we got the minus. Now we have 5 minus the absolute value of negative 9, which is positive 9. And that's going to be all over negative 2. So this would end up being negative 6 minus, this is still in brackets, negative 4 over negative 2. Then we got negative 6 minus negative 4 over negative 2 gives us positive 2. And so this would end up being negative 8. That's the answer to number 4. And then finally, number 5, what we would have here, 10 times negative 9 is negative 90. Negative 8 times negative 4 is positive 32. And then we have 2 pi minus the absolute value of negative 2 pi. So negative 2 pi, that would be a negative number, but absolute value changes it to a positive. So we'd have 2 pi minus 2 pi. And notice, what do we end up with here? We end up having negative 90 plus 32 gives us negative 58. But then the denominator ends up being 0. And you can't divide by 0. Right? That would give you an undefined number. Any number divided by 0, any expression divided by 0, it's undefined. So this here, this actually ends up being undefined. There's no actual value like there was for numbers 1, 2,